Now to weigh in, Clarence McKee. He is president of McKee Communications, and he's the author of the book, How Obama Failed Black America and How Trump is Helping It. Let's talk about that, sir. Give me your impression, if you could lay out that argument for us, and we'll continue the conversation.
I would love to. Good to be with you.
Great to have you.
Listen, the President of the United States has done one thing that Biden and the Democrats haven't done in 8 years or longer. He's bringing home the bacon. Now, I don't mean skinny pizza bacon. I'm talking about some big stuff here. 5.4% black unemployment, the lowest in history. Great programs like School Choice that helps black kids stay in school, prison reform, fighting abortion, opportunity zones. This was never the case with Biden and his crowd, ever. That's why the president's going to get, people estimate, from 15 even to 20% of the black vote. And if that happens, Bob, it's all over for the Democrats, and blacks are finally leaving that plantation.
Yeah. What did Obama do wrong, in your opinion?
Well, he was wrong because he didn't do a thing for black folks. He talked a good game. He helped every other group. He helped gays, which is okay. He was for for same-sex marriage. Wide open borders, Bob. My gosh, catch and release. When you have wide open borders, who does it hurt? It hurts lower skilled folks, a lot of black folks and Hispanic folks. Open borders, this president's closed the borders. That was bad. He did a lot of other things too. Abortion, my God, he was in the hip pocket or the purse of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. And then Biden, of course, we saw that soundbite from back in 1994, the crime bill there. That was before Obama, so that wasn't even Obama related.
Well, Obama must have known about it. He put him on his ticket. But Biden, I'm telling you, listen, this guy, blacks seem to be the only group this guy can throw a slur at. He did it in Indian Americans once, but he's been doing this for years, always excused, because, Bob, you know what happens. White liberals can say all kinds of things about black folks, but they're always forgiven, And so he was forgiven. Oh, you're okay. He didn't mean it, but don't let a Republican say that.
Right. Verna, I want to bring you here if you have a question or comment, sir.
Obviously, I agree with the previous comments. President Obama meant a lot to black people because there are many black people who lived years and years, never even thought they would be able to vote for a black person. And Obama meant a lot symbolically, but you look at his record, Obama did nothing for black people. He did something for every other group, including illegals. That was what I believe he was carrying all for the liberal agenda. The Democrats, if you look at their history, they never delivered to the black community. We're the first ones that go and get the votes, and then we throw them off the throw them off the bus. Here's what's interesting, too. Even look at the Democratic candidate platform for president. You started out with 3 African Americans, 2 United States senators, and 1 a former governor. Isn't it interesting how they got eliminated before even the first primary or caucus? But the ones who made it was a guy who'd never been in public office, and there was another one that was a mayor of a town about the size of 50,000 people. And then in the middle of that, they changed the rules and let Bloomberg in. Isn't there something interesting what the Democrats do? And they even grade blacks. They would never nominate, or they haven't nominated a black for president or a black for vice president where both of their parents are black.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
No, good points. And what's really important, the state representative here, who's one of my heroes, because when he speaks up and speaks out like this, when you have Ice Cube and the other folks speaking up, and all the other great black folks who were at the Republican National Convention, it kind of tells black America, hey, it's okay. You can vote for this president. Right. That's very important, and that's what the state representative is doing, and I commend him for it.
Yeah. Jeanette, question or comment?
Sure, Clarence, some of those black rappers that you just mentioned, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, 50 Cent, they talked about criminal justice reform that President Trump has enacted as being an important reason. How important will that be for black voters?
Oh, my gosh. Thousands. If you take a look at the blacks who have been released from jail under the prison reform, 93% of all the people released have been black. And if you look at the picture of my cover on my book with these 3 beautiful black kids, the black communities were deprived of a lot of fathers and brothers and uncles during that decade. So that's important to a lot of black folks. And I'll bet you a lot of ex-felons who are going to vote are going to vote for Donald Trump for helping them out.
Yeah, and it's, you know, out of that potential voting block, if you will, and not that everybody doesn't think for themselves, they do, Ford, but coming up from 8%, if it expands to 15, 20%, that could be a significant number of votes.
Well, you know,
Oh,
Bob, let me say
absolutely. The
this.
highest that a Republican nominee for president has gotten in the modern era was 15%. Gerald Ford. No, he did not win the race, but that was part of Watergate. But to Clarence's point, if it gets to 15%, Donald Trump will be the reason why. And then black men, particularly in North Carolina, my home state of Florida, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, very well could deliver this race for the president. The Democrats have no one but themselves to blame, because for the last 50 years, when it comes to African Americans, they've been all talk and no action.
Yeah, Clarence, any final thoughts,
Exactly.
sir?
No, I think we're going to see a big landslide of black voters for the president tomorrow night. Will shock Democrats, shock them and shake them to their boots.
Okay. Thank you so
Bob,
much
you
for
have a quick
joining us,
comment?
Clarence. Clarence McKee.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.